Welcome back to another episode of Private Parts with me, Liv Bentley.
And me, Tom Lucy. This is the podcast where nothing is off limits.
Each week, we will read the most intimate and sordid details of our lives from our diaries.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
I was just saying that you've gone for an all black attire this week.
Because it's winter outside, it's pissing with rain, slightly in mourning.
Mm-hmm. What are we mourning?
My mental health.
Sure, yeah.
No, my sleep deprivation.
It's quite, he said it's like a sort of GCSE drama outfit.
I think that's rude.
You know, like it when you do your drama exam, you have to wear all black.
Is that why I'm basically
or you're like a stagehand in a West End show.
The backup.
And you've got the headphones as well. You're like with a little sort of
Take your hat off and show me your hair.
talking to the why?
Just do that.
You want to see it?
Do you know what you look like? This has gone on for half an hour, by the way. Him looking at his hair.
Okay, go on. Go on. Roast me, go on.
No, we'll have to save it for half time.
Ugh.
No, you're gonna sit there with your hat off.
Yeah, you're like a little stagehand at Les Mis or something, running around in the wings, moving props around
Thanks.
in the dark.
Does it really look like that?
No, you look good. You're fine.
No, that's a lie. I've got my hat on to just cover everything up.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, you've been away, haven't you? In some.
I've been locked up in the middle of nowhere.
You've been locked up in a, can we say, house?
In a house.
Not the Big Brother house.
Different house.
Have you been approached about Big Brother?
Yes, and now I'm firmly never doing that.
Yeah, this has really closed the door on that.
This I was locked up with a load of people. Didn't really know.
Mm-hmm. So this is a job, we should say. This is not something you did for fun. This was a job.
Well, we can talk. I'll get into it more in my diary.
Okay, great. Well, I'm really excited to hear it. Is that why we're in mourning then?
Yeah, we are. I'm knackered. I was going to bed at 5 a.m. every night. Normally I'm up then.
Of course. Normally you're
Normally
up
I'm
then.
patrolling the streets at that hour.
Yeah. Normally you're out in your high-vis jacket picking up litter.
I'm not on community service.
That must have been hard for you to go to bed at 5, not get up at 5.
Yeah, and go to bed with a load of people.
Were you able to drink in there?
That was an option. And by the end of it, I did actually have a few drinks just to feel slightly normal.
Wow, they got you off the wagon.
They did. I was running around. No, we've got to stop saying off the wagon.
Sorry.
I fell off the wagon when I joined the podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what that's what this podcast does to people. They join it, healthy, happy people, and they leave wrecks. But it's great. It's nice to have you here.
Thanks.
Should we do my diary first?
Yeah, let's get into yours.
Okay. What are you uncomfortable?
No.
Okay.
Just preparing for your diary.
It's quite a chain you've got around your neck as well, isn't it?
Do you want to comment on anything else?
I like it. No, I like it. It's just it's quite sort of like rapper energy. I like it.
Rapper energy.
Are you into rap?
Honest question, do I look like I'm into rap?
I don't know, you might be. You look like somebody who might be into rap.
Bit of Diana Ross, Shania Twain.
That's rap, isn't it?
No.
No?
Not quite.
They're your two favourite artists?
No,
Diana Ross and Shania Twain.
I like a bit of country music, a bit of Motown.
Oh, you do like country music?
Nothing hardcore makes me angry.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like really aggressive music.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're off your nut in Ibiza, it's sort of like...
So you like to keep it calm?
Yeah.
Are you one of those people who sleeps to like the sound of like waves crashing?
No, I like to fall asleep to Law and Order with a bit of murder. That actually sends me off to sleep. But
right. So your TV taste would suggest you are into rap, but actually you're not. No.
Visually, I like a bit of rough, but then to fall asleep, no to listen to.
Interesting. We're really getting into it, aren't we? Oh. I am into rap. Thanks for asking.
Okay, sorry. You don't look like the type.
I
weirdly.
once went to a Tyler the Creator gig and almost died in the mosh pit. Fact. Okay. You don't even know who that is, do you?
No, have you gone back to another one?
Okay, let's get into my diary. Here we go. This is going to be good. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This week consisted of 3 things. Giving a talk at the London podcast show, a trip to Paris, and an incident involving a golf club and my girlfriend's brother. They're the 3 things I'm going to talk about.
Already sounds quite interesting.
We're going to do them in chronological order, okay? You were away for this, but I was invited to do a Q&A at the London podcast show. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It's not called the London podcast show?
No, just the
podcast. Are you sure? That's real.
Did you go with him?
It's real, like...
Really?
It was fucking sold out, baby.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did people mention Private Parts at all? Did they say they liked
I talked about it on stage.
Did they say it's the best it's ever been?
I'm so embarrassed that I called it the London podcast. It's such a dad thing to say, isn't it?
What, you didn't say that at the event, did you?
I think I might have
Thank you
done.
so much to the London podcast.
I think I might have said something like that.
You needed your cue
The
card.
London podcast. Okay, so I did a Q&A at the podcast show.
The London one.
We'll cut that out. It was in London.
No, we'll keep that in.
I arrived at the event without much knowledge of what it was going to be. I assumed we would be talking podcasts. It's a fair assumption to make, isn't it?
Yeah.
London podcast show in London. But what I hadn't factored in is that I would be doing the Q&A on stage with none other than James Haskell.
Oh,
Do you know
the rugby
James
bloke. The
Haskell?
rugby bloke.
Yeah. The rugby
What's
bloke.
he got to do with podcasts?
Well, just wait and hear, because quite a lot, as it turns out. Do you know James?
Yeah, I've read of him in the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Because he's gone through a breakup with someone, hasn't he?
Yeah, which He, as it turns out, he doesn't like you bringing up on stage.
Oh my God. Was this recorded, this podcast show? Did anyone film any of
No,
it?
it was just like a live thing, but...
It is.
Oh, good.
Let's
Okay,
get that
it is,
footage
it is.
up.
So anyone listening, you can watch the London podcast show back. Me and James Haskell, a man who describes himself as the Archbishop of Banterbury. That's how he describes himself.
Way.
And I think they got our things mixed up at the back of the stage because...
So yours said Archbishop of Banterbury.
No, mine said podcast host, DJ. And James Haskell said podcast host, comedian. So I'm pretty sure they split that up because I'm not a DJ.
Does he double up as a DJ?
Well, apparently he does. His Instagram bio says DJ producer.
Niche.
So I don't know who's having James Haskell DJ at their event. I mean, I sound like I'm fair play to him. I liked him a lot, but it'd be quite trippy to have James Haskell DJing at an event, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I don't really know, so I can't really imagine it. But he's a big guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's massive. Well, as I say in the diary, Haskell is someone I've never met, but I feel like we've been circling each other for a while. Quite weirdly, we have quite a few mutual friends, and I've always wanted a chance to meet Hask himself. I've called him Hask.
I could tell.
He didn't. That's not something he approved of, but I'm going to do that. He is one of those people who I feel like.
Did he get your banter?
Well, not really, because it was quite it turned out to be quite a serious talk.
What was the premise of it, though? You weren't talking about your podcast.
No, we had a guy on stage interviewing us about podcasts, basically. But I thought that me and Haskell together would mean it would be quite a light-hearted talk. It turned into quite a heavy talk about like advertising and revenue streams.
Oh my God.
And Haskell likes to speak. Let me just say that.
More than you. More than monotone Tom.
More than me, yeah. He is also enormous. This is my next point. Haskell, I put here, Hask is enormous. Full stop. Watching him walk on stage was like watching someone trying to move a wardrobe. That's not in an insulting way. He's a big guy. He plays
like that.
Yeah, he plays rugby. Well, he played rugby for a living. I'm
confused. Sorry. Now, does he have a podcast? What's his interest in podcasts?
He has a podcast called The Good, the Bad, and the Rugby. He actually wants us to come on.
Us or you, Tom?
Me, but I can get you on. if you want.
Don't.
I can put a word in with
you
Hask
bring the
if
bands.
you want. Yeah. We bantered effortlessly in front of the crowd and then I left. As I was walking out, my phone pinged. It was an unknown number. And to my absolute amazement / horror, I opened the text to see the words James Haskell. He'd found my phone number from the call sheet and texted me so that I had his number in my phone. And he'd obviously saved my number. What an unbelievable moment to have with Hask. So the point of that first bit of the diary is I think we should get Hask on.
Onto here?
Yeah.
Now that he's a new crowd. Was he
It's the Archbishop of Banterbury. We got to get him on. He's a comedian / podcaster.
Is he actually a comedian? Was he funny?
No, I think he's been doing some stand-up gigs.
Did you find him funny?
But in the same way that Jamie Lang has done some stand-up gigs.
Such a twat. Jamie actually is funny.
And we wouldn't describe him as a comedian as much as he might.
I think Haskell's going to take your crown.
Yeah, I am very nervous. I'm terrified that James Haskell's going to take everything from
You
me.
meant Jamie, but...
Then, the next bit, my girlfriend and I went on a whistle-stop tour to Paris.
A what?
Trip. A whistle-stop trip to Paris. You know the phrase whistle-stop?
No, I'm unfamiliar.
Like a quick trip.
Yeah. Okay.
You never heard whistle-stop?
No.
Okay, it means quick.
Do you remember who you're talking to over here?
Okay, fine.
Fucking moron.
Oh, shall I change that to quick?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've got it now. Thank you.
Paris is in France. I'll just clear up some of these things.
Okay, we don't need to go into too much detail. I'm not that stupid.
The thing I've always found strange about Paris is how people like to tell you that it's full of rude people. You even said this to me. To me, this sounds ideal. I don't want to speak to people, and my military upbringing means I feel much more calm in a hostile environment than an overly friendly one.
Sounds like you've had a troubled childhood.
Well, I have had a military dad my entire life, and they are, I don't know if you ever met them, quite hostile people.
No, what, Parisians or your parents?
Both.
I've met one, not your parents. I know what you mean. They're very...
Military dads, quite intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a similar energy to people from Paris. Just sort of everything's
straight and grumpy.
Arm's length the whole time. Don't come too near me.
I quite prefer that. I prefer that to people who are overly familiar, who ask you.
You are actually someone who seems like you come from a military family.
Oh no, not at all. It was a loving, caring home. No, it's not a military home. There's just a lot of us.
You just seem like you may have come from that sort of background.
Does that mean I lack emotion? Is that what you're sort of trying to say?
No, I just think you can be quite formal. In that, I associate that with people who grew up in the army, but obviously you didn't.
No, I mean my grandparents were quite.
But you are quite formal, I think.
I thought you just told me I look like a stagehand.
Yeah, but you can be a formal stagehand. Nice, well-dressed stagehand. I
mean, my grandparents were quite formal. It was always like 3-course meals. They'd ring a bell to get people to come and clear it. Like it was quite. God. Had to wear tights.
From the 18th century.
No short skirts.
They rang a bell to get dinner.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Clear it.
Doesn't your sister do that now with the dog shit and your mum?
Yeah, go to my flat.
She just rings a bell. Yeah,
she's a savage, that girl.
Yeah. So having said that, on the final day of the trip, we got to Paris airport to fly home, and I realised I'd left my sunglasses on the desk of the lobby in the hotel. Okay, I called the reception. I explained what had happened and asked whether the hotel could post the sunglasses back to London. What came back was a very true to form Parisian comment that the postage would probably cost more than these sunglasses.
Rude.
Quite rude.
Really
for a hotel reception.
What brand were they?
Quite nice sunglasses.
Tell me the brand. And I'll let you know if the postage is worth it.
They're from Saint Laurent.
I don't think that's how the French pronounce
Pause
it.
For effect there.
I'd get them shipped back. That's quite nice. They're
nice.
Yeah,
they're nice. But she said the postage would probably cost more.
But I like that sense of that humour. That's quite funny. Did you go back saying, you funny. Cheeky cow, get them in the post? She probably wants it for herself.
She's probably fucking walking around Paris now in those fucking sunglasses.
Snazzy new pair of glasses on.
Anyway, I came back to London without my sunglasses and finished the week I was invited to play golf with my girlfriend's brother. This was meant to be quite a civilized morning. Okay, do you play golf?
I love the way you ask me these questions. Do I look like I've had a club in my hand recently? No.
Do you look like you've had a club in your hand recently?
Or any time.
This is not another euphemism.
No, it's not. It's not a euphemism.
Did Jomo do clubs?
Yeah, for our next range of solid.
You seem like a golf player. You seem like, can I be honest, someone who has a military dad who plays golf.
In 5 words, describe me.
Golf, army, formality, serious drama.
Okay, and the episode 1, we discussed me selling my lubricant, trying my vibrators.
Yeah.
I dressed a little bit like a tramp on occasion when I can't be asked.
That's not very formal,
I was on Made in Chelsea. And I don't often play with golf clubs.
I suppose that's true, yeah. Anyway, I played golf, and this was meant to be quite a civilised morning.
Bonding morning with the brother.
Yeah, that's what it was meant to be, until we got about halfway around the course, and he lent me one of his clubs, because he said, this will be good for this particular thing you're trying to do, use this. And he stood to the side, looking quite lovingly at this golf club, which I believe he's had for several years.
Family
decades,
heirloom.
Mate. It's literally a family heirloom. He handed it to me, stood at the side, looking proud. I was thinking, this is going quite well. I'm bonding with the brother. You know, we're playing golf, we're having a nice chat, we're getting on well, we're going to have lunch afterwards. He then proceeded to watch as I swung at the ball, made contact with the grass before the ball, and the thing completely snapped in half. Half the club went like 500 yards down the thing. I then stood there in complete silence, like,
with the shaft.
Has that actually just happened? Then I said to him, does that mean it's broken? And he said, I think it fucking does mean it's broken because you're holding half of it and the other half is 500 yards away.
Did he try and take that bit out and go for you?
He then did that thing that people do where they're where they are upset about something, but they pretend not to be upset.
It's fine.
But I could tell he was actually quite upset, which is worse for the rest of the thing.
Is it the sort of thing you can fix?
A golf club? I don't know. I did offer to tape it back on.
But you did not. And that's more insulting.
Yeah, he didn't want that. So yeah, my morning of bonding with Henry was not quite going to plan.
How is he younger than you?
He's the same age as me.
Oh, that's actually worse. Because if they're young, you can be like,
easy. Yeah, but no, it wasn't great.
Has it damaged
I
your
offered
friendship?
to buy him a new one. You'll be pleased to hear. When we finished, I said, look, I'm going to buy you a new golf club because that was obviously expensive. And then I saw the price of it. And I sort of contemplated dealing with it in the sort of Parisian way. I thought I could deal with this like a Parisian would deal with this. And say, to be honest with you, the postage of the golf club would cost more than the club. So
how much was the club?
It's not really worth it, is it?
They're fucking expensive, aren't they?
Golf clubs are expensive, yeah. Yeah. But it was old.
So you've come away from last week a broke man. You've lost your sunglasses.
So just to clarify, I have no sunglasses. I owe some money to my girlfriend's brother for a golf club. And I have James Haskell's phone number. That's what's happened
Can't
this
work
week.
out if you've achieved anything. I mean, no, James Haskell's number, yeah, sure.
That's a big achievement.
That's a big achievement. But then...
Golf club. I didn't realise they were that expensive.
I mean, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't know.
No. But he sounds like the type of bloke who obviously...
is into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I tell you what I like about golf. I'm into the clothes. I like the clothes that people wear. I think it's one of the better attires for a sport. No, I like the clothes.
What, the crisscross?
Yeah, and you've got to wear like spiky shoes and one glove like Michael Jackson.
See, that in itself is rather off-putting, if I'm perfectly honest. Of all sportswear, I would say golf's the worst.
Really? No,
yeah.
There's got to be
one glove in a hand. That's
quite cool. In the clubhouse, just sort of swanning around.
The country club.
Yeah, with what you want? One glove on. You get to like pin the glove back like that.
Creepy I think. Is that what you wear? You want to end up being in the country club?
Well, that's where we did end up, yeah. Having a sort of more somber meal than we'd planned to have.
A few drinks with it, or?
Yeah, we're going to play again. And then we're going to have some drinks.
But with your own
That's what's fun to do, actually, is to play golf and just get drunk all the way around.
See, I drive the buggy round and get drunk. I'll drive you next time.
You'll drive the buggy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Olivia and I can sit in the buggy.
Fine.
While you two play with your clubs.
Okay, fine.
Or yeah.
Fine, okay. So I can't work out if that is a successful week or fairly...
I mean,
financially unsuccessful.
Financially, yeah. Did you plug this podcast at the London podcast show at all?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot.
So if we get the listeners, that's one bonus.
I sort of managed to squeeze in a few mentions of private parts in between Haskell talking about rugby and his DJing. But yeah, I did get a couple of mentions in for the podcast. James Corden was there doing a talk in the other room, and I think he sucked most of our audience away. But
no offense, but if it was between the two of you,
you'd go see Corden.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can. He may. This may be libelous to say, but he didn't look like he really wanted to be there. To be honest, he sort of
what was the crowd of people? He
sort of had one eye on the door the whole time. He was by far the biggest name there, wasn't he?
I think I'd say the biggest bloke. But
no, Haskell was the biggest bloke.
Is he enormous?
Haskell's enormous.
Single.
Yeah, I think he famously is single now. Yeah,
asking for a friend.
That would be great. You and Haskell. Well, I mean, you're sort of. Otherwise,
question of the week.
Maybe we could get Haskell on here, and you guys could sort of have a date.
Perhaps not.
Or maybe go to one of his DJ gigs. Or I'll text him right now with a picture of you and say thoughts.
No, let's not do any of the above.
Okay, fine. All right. I'm just trying to help.
I know you are, Tom.
It's like if you don't want my help, all you have to do is say it's fine. When
I need it, I'll ask you.
Fine.
Does that work for you?
I'll just wait then. I did actually text Haskell and he hasn't replied.
Maybe he was no, it wouldn't be a fake number. Why would you want your number? Who's doing that?
Because he wants to hang out. Or have me on his podcast.
Do it.
Have us on his podcast.
You keep saying us. Your week.
Do you have any questions?
Do I have any questions?
Any Parisian questions?
What did you do anything? You were there with the girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Anything romantic?
Yeah, we went to the Eiffel Tower at night.
Such a fucking tourist.
At night when it like all sparkles. It looks cool.
Was it busy?
Actually wasn't that busy. They were setting up for the Olympics. You know, it's the Olympics this summer. So they were setting up all the different stages for the Olympics, and they've got like they've put like stands up around the river, the Seine River. They've put like stands all along the side, which I think is going to be quite cool.
Yeah. Are you going?
No. It's not.
I never know what you potentially could be doing. That's, do you know
what
what I mean?
What do you mean?
Well, you
said that like you assumed I'll be going to the Olympics.
Because you always end up not. Well, actually, maybe you don't end up doing weird things.
What do I end up doing that's weird?
I don't know. Just
you seem more like the sort of person who would go to the Olympics than me. Actually, that's not true. You have zero interest.
Purely for talent spotting.
Anything to do with that?
Yeah.
No. You wouldn't be. You didn't even really know it was happening.
Listen, High Rocks was quite there. That was my fitness.
Yeah. Why don't you go to the Olympics and do the same thing you did at High Rocks, where you just sort of
stood and waved at men?
Yeah.
Could do that, to be fair.
I think. Guess who might be there as a pundit?
What?
James Haskell.
For God's sake.
Maybe you could go on a little Parisian date.
I wish I'd never said this now about James Haskell.
If I send you the hotel address, you can pick up some sunglasses as well.
That's just an annoying thing. I actually left my sunglasses in this warehouse. Or in this house I was in.
This warehouse? What were we doing?
This thing that I was locked in.
Oh yeah. Well, listen. Let's have question of the week.
So with your stand up, would you be asked to go back or?
What, to do the gig?
Did they find it funny?
Yeah, they did.
What sort of things were you saying?
I was saying a bunch of stuff. I mean, it was a corporate event, so you can't really like. It's sort of one of those like comedians do it as like a dirty secret. Like no one really talks about the fact that people are doing them because they're just.
I need to come and see one.
Every comedian you know, or musician, or anyone who performs does corporate gigs, but no one really talks about it because it's a sort of slightly seedy underworld.
Oh God!
Not that there's anything
seedy underworld. No,
it's just like you're like paid to come and do these private shows for like rich companies or rich families or whatever, and they're not that much fun to do, but people just do it because you get paid to do it.
Like a hooker.
But no one really talks about it. Like people like Ed Sheeran and I don't know Robbie Williams and do that stuff all the time.
But just
they make like a fortune doing that sort of thing. Some like billionaire's daughter will be like, I want Ed Sheeran at my birthday, and then they'll pay him to come and do it.
Can you imagine having that kind of cash? You're just having Beyonce at your wedding.
Yeah, I'm not sure Beyonce's doing that much of them. To be fair, I don't think she needs to.
Better than that.
Yeah, Robbie Williams is £1 million to perform at an event.
Is he?
Yeah, that's how much he costs.
Would he be worth it? Do you think?
Robbie Williams.
Is he worth $1 million?
Someone was telling me the other day about a wedding they went to that Maroon 5 were performing at.
Oh, actually, that's quite cool.
I don't think that's that cool. I think if you had the money to spend on someone, would you pick Maroon 5?
Oh, I don't know. But then some of their music.
You know who I'd pick?
Who?
James Haskell.
To do stand-up at your wedding?
On the decks. Stand up, half DJ.
Doing your entrance music.
Yeah. Love that. Playing Levels by Avicii. Haskell on the decks.
Walking down the aisle.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to walk down the aisle to is Levels.
You're not even walking down the aisle, my friend. You're at the end of it.
No, I'm going to walk.
Of course
I want to do a walk. Let's do question of the week. Come on, are you reading it?
I got it? Yeah. I've got it. Okay. Question of the week. What do lobsters taste with?
What do lobsters taste with? God. That sounds like a trick question. Do they have tongues? Do lobsters have tongues?
Come on, Tom, use that brain of yours.
Okay, well, let me have a think.
So obvious.
Let me have a think. We'll come back. Oh, I think I've got it. Yeah, I got it.
I bet you knew the answer to that because it's so niche.
I got it. Okay. All right. We'll see you in part 2. Welcome back to part 2 of Private Parts with me, Tom Lucy.
And me, Liv Bentley.
Back. Lobsters. Tasting. Can I guess?
Yeah.
It's not tongues, is it? Because lobsters don't have tongues. Is it those little tentacles?
No. It's...
What do they have? Claws?
Pincers. No, It's not pincers. It's their antenna thing.
Yeah, they're claws, aren't they? Lobster claws.
Oh, yeah. No, none of those.
What is it?
They taste with their feet.
Oh, God. Do lobsters have feet?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Isn't that just their tail?
Yeah. Have you read that wrong? Was it meant to say lobster?
No, I think it did say lobster. Yeah, it does. What do lobsters taste with? Their
feet.
Feet.
God.
Is that a trick one? maybe.
It doesn't sounds like a joke, but I might take that for one of my gigs this weekend. What do lobsters taste with?
Can I come this weekend to one of your gigs?
You can come, yeah.
Um,
Okay, this is it. Come on,
right,
I want to hear about this bunker that you were locked in.
I've written this a little bit like a story, just so you can really imagine.
Yeah.
What I was walking into.
Fine. Okay. Fine.
Oh God, I'm nervous. Okay. Dear diary.
Oh God.
I
forgot to start with Dear Diary.
Oh.
Okay, fine.
What a week. By the way, I say fuck a lot throughout this. I'm going to call this section For Fuck's Sake.
Okay.
What a week.
That would be the name of your autobiography, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I've probably said that thousands of times this week. This week was one that I had been rather anxiously dreading. I, being a slightly clueless individual, had agreed to take part in a new YouTube series called Inside. When vaguely skimming through the contract, my eyes only saw the section titled £1 million prize money. What I should have actually read was the fucking title of it. First thing Monday morning, I was thrown into the back of a Range Rover, having been told to only pack...
It's quite a normal Monday morning for you.
Yeah. Normally I'm the one driving it though. Yeah. Having been told to only pack the bare minimum, socks, knickers and my vibrator seemed essential. I arrived...
Did they tell you to do that?
No, I was taking it...
They said just bring the essentials.
Yeah, they said literally just the essentials.
Right, okay,
I'm thinking
fine.
like, as in, yeah.
Nothing. Right.
Your sort of bathroom essentials and
Yeah.
stuff. I arrived at a strange-looking warehouse and was told to enter the building, where I was then met by nothing other than a conveyor belt. I placed my bags on it, along with my phone, and off they shot. Standing there like a bit of a lemon, I was really questioning my life choices along with my agents and quickly imagining the stern message he was going to receive the second I was released. What on earth am I doing here?
Wait, so where's this warehouse? In East London
I
somewhere?
couldn't even tell you. I've got no idea.
So they just
somewhere
said,
in London.
They just said get in a car.
They get in.
And then they drove you.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they
You had no idea where you were going?
No. And I said, when I get through, will I have time to turn my phone off and stuff? They're like, yeah. So and then bollocks, I went through. And literally it was like airport security. Go through a little metal detector, put your bags on this thing, and they just vanished. Into
All your stuff just vanished?
Yeah.
God.
Even my cigarettes. And I thought, fuck.
You were clutching at the cigarettes?
Yeah, shaking.
So wait, so when you're in the back of the Range Rover, can you not see out the windows?
I was blacked out. I wasn't, to be honest, I was so anxious.
Everything was blacked out?
No, it was like they were tinted, but I mean, my heart was pounding. So I was like, where the hell?
It is quite scary actually, isn't it?
Terrifying. Like
you're not with anyone. You're not like with anyone that you know. You're just purely on your own.
Alone with a mic pack on, yeah.
God, I'm not sure I would want to do that.
Clammy hands. I was nervous. I was so anxious I could barely speak. Not that I was talking to anyone, but it was intense. I mean, I imagine that's what it'd be like to be kidnapped.
Yeah. Well, you sort of basically were kidnapped,
just
weren't
in
you?
luxury.
You were basically kidnapped, but you were paid the ransom.
Yeah, basically.
As a fee.
I got myself kidnapped.
Yeah.
Okay. Walking through a sort of Black Mirror-esque set, I heard voices, and not the ones in my head telling me to run a fucking mile, but it was the other contestants. As I made my way up the stairs and into the communal bedroom, yes, communal, I realised I would be sharing a room with 10 other people, all of whom I had no fucking clue who they were, and I don't think any of them had any clue who this odd Z-lister was either. As I sat down on my bed, I was greeted by an incredibly unusual sensation. It was softer than I'm used to, yet firmer than I'm familiar with. It was indeed a camp bed. And at this exact moment, I longed to be in Tom's position, where his biggest concern was picking up his corgi's crap, not roughing it with a group of randoms in the middle of nowhere on a dodgy bed.
Wait, so explain did this room look like a
prison
sort of school dormitory?
Yeah.
So they were just like rows of beds?
Yeah, 10 beds. And one was a double. So luckily I wasn't the last one in. I was like the 5th person in. So we all.
So when you got into the room, were there other people in there?
Yeah. There was 4 other people in there.
And you just had to go say hi?
Yeah, introduce myself. One of them I knew, thank God. The others I had no idea. But also, this is a show for like YouTubers and people who do streaming and like gaming and stuff. Obviously not a world I know much.
I'm like, now that you're saying it to me, I'm actually like imagining what that must be like. It must be awful.
I mean, me who's actually quite a shy person, walking into that, I was like, what the hell?
I would really hate that. So it just looks like a regular room?
Yeah, just cameras everywhere.
God. And are they telling you what to do, or they just throw you in there?
No, just throw you in there. And then there's like a Big Brother-esque voice that then says...
So who did you see in there that you knew?
A girl called Chloe Burrows from Love Island.
Okay.
Who I'd met on a night out before.
And then everyone else was just random TikTok people?
Yeah.
God.
And I obviously don't even really know how to use TikTok, so that was great.
So how long were you just left in there until they made you do something?
Then we all go, oh, I'll continue.
Okay. So I'm actually really fascinated by this.
Oh, it's... Where was I? Oh. As if my sleeping arrangements weren't concerning enough, I had managed to find the bathrooms. 2 showers, 3 loos, and 4 cameras. What could possibly go wrong in here, I thought. I'll tell you exactly what could go wrong. An eating challenge involving one of the male contestants and the world's hottest chilies. That's probably enough detail on that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hideous. Cameras everywhere.
Oh my
like,
God.
in the shower, the glass was like frosted from like here down. But
Yeah.
if you bent over to get the shampoo, it'd be more than an eyeful.
It is like prison, isn't it? Yeah.
Apart from, no, we weren't in there together, thank God.
It is. It's reminding me heavily of my time in prison, actually. Yeah, it really is. It's giving me some.
Oh, I would love
flashbacks.
to see you do a show like this because I feel like you would crack. Don't think it would.
I'm pretty calm actually most of the time.
But you strike me as sort of like a delicate flower.
Mm,
Like you have like your evening routine kind of thing.
really?
Yeah.
Is that how I come across to you?
Mm.
No, I think I'd be okay because I'm pretty laid, quite easygoing with. I do get on with most people, so I think I'm not
I
like
know that side of it.
I'm
yeah.
not like a very divisive character. You know, some people they go into a place like that and they immediately piss loads of people off.
Oh yeah, but also they all think about like it hadn't even crossed my mind thinking about like how I'd come across.
Yeah. Have you been tapped up for the jungle?
No.
Seems like you may have been tapped up for that. Have you not? You've never had a discussion about that?
No.
Because that would be quite a fun one to do, I guess.
It would be quite fun. Although Georgia Toffler's won it, so Sam Thompson. I
Yeah.
can't be a third person, maybe Chelsea go in there and not win it because it would just be
Mm.
slightly mortifying, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Toff won it ages ago, didn't she?
Yeah. I don't know who else from Chelsea's been asked to do it. None of them.
Spencer did it
Oh, yeah.
famously and then got chucked out.
Why was he chucked out
I feel
again?
like we talk about Spencer so
No,
much on
you
this.
talk about Spencer and Jamie so much on this.
But he did get chucked off it for taking steroids. Fact.
Just shaming him now.
No, like it's like in the public eye. Although I think that's not exactly what happened, but that's what they claimed happened.
That's what they claim. The old Daily Mail claimed that, did they?
Yeah, I think so.
Bastards.
So what happened? So
Oh, okay. I'm not trying to just not relive it, if I'm perfectly honest.
are you finding this quite traumatic?
Traumatic. I'm acting as if I've been in prison.
Yeah.
No,
You look quite somber when you read this.
because I felt like I was in there for a month.
Right.
It was like, there's like no fresh air. Like you can't just go out and go for a little,
Yeah.
have chat with anyone who
No,
wasn't in
of
there.
course, no. Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. I managed to get through the first challenge, which involved a slightly odd gentleman. One could possibly call him the reptile whisperer. Sitting there with his rather large snake slithering over me, I tried not to think about what else he possibly had in the back of his van, whilst also wishing I was in the back of his van and on my way back to Fulham.
Stop.
Right, so this bloke...
Wait, so there's a man with a snake?
So the first challenge was this thing. We all had to put our hands on the table.
Yeah.
And we're all in like a sort of semicircle. Hands go on handprints.
Yeah.
And when you put your hands down, they go green. If you
Yeah.
take them off, they go red and you're out and you lose money.
Right, okay.
So all of us there with our hands on.
Yeah.
This bloke then comes out covered in barbecue sauce, got a long beard, and he's like eating chicken. And so you've got to do anything you can to not take your hands off. So he was like slobbering over everyone. It was so gross, like the smell of barbecue sauce. And
So
it was
all you have to
dripping
do
off
is
his
just
beard.
not
not take your hands off.
God.
So then that happened, and then this man with his snake came out, and then he had like millipedes and like I know he had rats crawling across our hands.
Who's this man?
Well, this is
Some
what I
sort of
realised.
like pest control guy.
Yeah.
God.
And then he had his snakes.
Just running on your hands.
Yeah, he would just put them around your neck.
And how good were you at that game?
I managed to pass it.
Yeah.
One of the guys. Yeah, no, I did.
You know what I'd be thinking in that situation is I'd be going, they won't do anything that will actually cause any legally they can't actually hurt any of us. So whatever they throw at us, it's gonna be fine.
Pretty feral looking. They were big old things as well. And it was the tails just like
God.
slithering across.
God.
And then
But you won that one.
Oh yeah, I passed it. Like a few of us, there were 4 people who didn't do it, I don't think.
Okay. Okay. How did Chloe Burrows get on?
She was out because she had the
Straight
millipede
out.
on her hand.
Straight out. Burrows is straight out.
Straight out.
She can't hack it.
What else they had? Oh no!
Wait, so every time they do a challenge, they knock someone out?
No. You have to see how well you do.
Oh right,
So,
and then
if
you get
lose,
voted out by the team.
Yeah. So at the end of so halfway through, we all stayed in for the first few nights. But if you lose the challenge,
how do you sleep
lose
in a
money.
place like that? Do you sleep
don't.
well?
I'm exhausted. Have you seen the bags under my eyes? I'm exhausted.
So do you sleep at all?
Not really. It was because we didn't know the time. It was like I think it was like 4 or 5 a.m. by the time we actually went to sleep. Well, not that late, like around that time.
And are people chatting at night, like when the lights are all off?
No, not really. There was a couple nights. Every night was different.
God, it sounds really bizarre. It sounds really bizarre.
It was quite fun though.
And not having your phone must have made you feel really like
well, weirdly, I
isolated.
actually quite liked that.
Did you?
You didn't really notice it because you're sort of like.
After a while, you sort of forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you should just go phoneless from now on anyway.
Yeah. What? And just write you a note saying I'll be 5 minutes.
Just be one of those people that just doesn't have a phone.
Doesn't Ed Sheeran not have a phone?
Yeah, apparently. But I also think if you're Ed Sheeran, it's easier to not have a phone because he's probably got like
PA.
5 people working for him.
I know.
I think it'd be harder for you to say I don't have a phone anymore.
No one. No, but I've done it
because then
sometimes.
just no one would be able to contact you.
Quite nice.
But with Ed, I think people would be able to get to him.
People, yeah.
Yeah. He still does things,
just
doesn't he?
Level.
It's just it's okay. I'm not having a go at you. I'm just saying, Ed Sheeran's doing gigs for £1 million.
And I'm getting snakes all over me for a minimal.
It's different, it's different stuff.
Anyway, dinner was a delightful treat of rice and beans, and as I lay there with my eye mask on, surrounded by a symphony of snores and springs poking me in places I didn't know existed, I was really questioning why I chose this paycheck over the one I could have got for sleeping with the sweet gentleman from my DMs last week.
Oh, yeah.
To be continued.
Of course.
I honestly did.
That would have been an easier way to do it.
I thought about it. I was like, I wonder.
Yeah, he'd probably play similar games in his house.
I don't want to know. It was Big Python.
Put your phone in this bucket. A Range Rover's going to pick you up. It wouldn't be a Range Rover, but it'd be a car.
Get in this
It'd be a van. Fucking
terrifying.
Hell.
So that was one of my days last week.
I can't believe that. Can we say? Well, by the time this has come out,
this is the thing. I think by the time this comes out, no, not the whole series. Only a couple
so we can't
episodes.
say where you finished.
No, not yet.
But let's just say she's got some new shoes on. She's got some new black boots on.
No, I do not.
No.
But yeah.
I can't believe you did that. That's so mad. There's no I'm trying to think of an amount of money that would entice me to do something. I just can't.
I'm trying.
It would be my worst nightmare to do something like that. I
honestly didn't think it through. I had agreed to it. And
when your agent pitched it to you, did you think like
he actually didn't? I got sent it by someone else, and I sent it to my agent, and he was like, "This sounds." And reading, I mean, I make it sound worse in that diary entry. It wasn't like that. It was actually a lot of fun. Like it was 10 of us. Everyone was really sweet, and it wasn't.
There wasn't anyone you didn't get on with.
No, and there was no one like in there. You know, those some people who like switch it on for TV and they're so in your face. Like, no one luckily was like that. It was all quite chilled, but it was interesting. Like all of them were so different. Everyone was such different things.
Do you think you'll stay in touch with anyone?
Yeah, some of them I actually do hope so.
Really?
Yeah, they were. Everyone's quite cool.
That's quite cool. And did you have like a rap party?
No.
You sort of did, didn't you?
Yeah, sort of. When the final lot were out.
Yeah.
Why are you asking about that?
Because didn't you go to tape on Sunday
fuck's
night?
sake, yeah, I did go to tape on Sunday night. First time I've been in this year, and the last.
Was that to do with the show, or that was separate?
Some of the people from the show, yeah. Yeah.
You all bowl down there in your Range Rovers.
No, I bowled down there in the same outfit I went in there in. Oh yeah, that was something we all had matching outfits.
I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait.
I dread to think. Also,
do you have to pay for it, or is it just going to go on YouTube?
I think they've got their own channel, Side Plus. I should know this.
So you got to pay for it?
No, I think no. I think normally, no, I don't think you do.
Great, okay. Well, I'm going to watch.
Are you saying I wouldn't be worth $4.99 a month?
No, I'll pay for it anyway. But I think I'm going to watch some and then
I don't
come
think
back
I'm going to
and
watch
report
it
next week.
Because the worst part was, so there are these cameras every day. This in the morning doesn't look like this, and I've got obviously my hair looks like a bit of a disgrace. So I just walk around with my hood up.
Like a sort of teenage boy.
Looking for a skateboard.
Yeah, looking for a skateboard.
Just lost.
I can't wait.
But yeah.
I think we should get into some dilemmas that have been sent in by some of our listeners. Have you got them?
I've got a few.
I'd really like to hear some.
Okay. This one.
So this was sent in. So to the email is contact@privatepartspodcast.com. If you have any dilemmas or questions that you want answered, we put a thing out and we've had some back.
Okay, I've got one.
Let's do
this one's slightly funny. I got asked out on a date by a guy I used to date's dad. I do find him attractive.
I got asked out on a date by someone I used to date's dad.
I got asked out on a date by a guy.
Yeah.
No. So she's been asked out by the dad.
Yeah, of the guy she used to date.
Do I tell him I've had sex with his son?
Doesn't the dad know that?
No. How would you say that?
I think you have to say that, don't you? You have to.
No, you obviously.
But also, is it? Does she not find it weird that she's going to sleep with the son and the dad? Does she not find that weird? Also, how old's the dad?
Well, she's obviously in between ages. The son was probably a bit younger.
Yeah, but the dad must be a fair bit older.
Maybe
if she's the dad of like the guy that she's slept with. I don't know.
Maybe he's a filth. Is that what they're called?
Have you ever slept with a dad and a son?
Not yet.
No.
No, I haven't.
Was that part of the next Sidemen challenge?
Yeah. Day 2.
Yeah, I think you got to say something. You got to say something.
But then what if the dad's like, oh, can't date you? I mean, could you? No, I don't think you could. Have you slept with a daughter and a mother?
No.
But the writer.
But the dad, surely the dad has got would if he found out would then go, I'm not going to do this. You'd like to think the dad would not do that.
Well, yeah, but maybe she dated the son years ago.
God, that is really.
It's quite the dilemma.
Yeah, well, it's not really a dilemma. You got to say something. Surely.
I would risk it for a biscuit. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't.
Okay, well,
obviously say something. Do I need to tell him I've had sex with the son? Yes.
Yes.
Most likely.
Say yes.
Here's a dilemma. No, these are weird ones. Watch your parents have sex every day for the rest of your life or join in once? That's a drinking game, I'm pretty sure.
Watch your parents have sex every day or join in once. Watch every day. You can't join in.
So, watch every day.
I can't.
What if they mix it up
What is supposed to what? Joining in? You're making that sound like a weird answer.
Both pretty odd, to be honest.
Yeah, both are horrific. Is die an option?
No.
Okay.
Gotta sit through it.
Okay. Or maybe just watch then.
Liv, would you ever consider selling pictures of your feet? I'd make a direct debit for it.
Oh, that's good.
Now I'm selling body parts.
Should we set up like a private parts bank account and then we can just pay these directly?
Like a GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
GoFundMe.
No.
GoFootMe.
GoFootMe.
You call it that. Yeah. GoFeetMe.
Apparently there's a website out there that does that. When people post any photos of with their feet in them, they screenshot them.
I'm not surprised. I know that feet are a big thing on the internet.
I feel like I've been living under a rock or something. I was unaware of.
I don't understand why someone like you wouldn't do that. Like, and no one would even. It's like me doing corporate gigs. It's the same thing.
It's kind of not the same thing as you doing corporate gigs.
It literally is. This, I feel just as dirty after a corporate gig as you would feel.
That sounds so wrong. You aren't a high class escort.
There's no difference between me doing those gigs, not telling anyone, and you doing that and not telling anyone. Who do
we think would make more money? You doing closet gigs and me selling feet photos and the odd thong?
Probably the same.
Should we see if we can actually get to
everyone's
extortionate tickets?
Everyone is doing stuff that they don't want to do to make money nowadays. It's just.
I mean, you're right. I had a man and his python all over me.
I honestly see no difference between me doing that and you doing that. Think about it. That's so funny. Well, but look, we'd love more dilemmas. Contact at privatepartspodcast.com and
some help setting up a website for selling items.
GoFootMe we'll probably have set up by next week as well. And we're excited to watch Liv's meltdown in a warehouse in East London. And I will text James Haskell.
With Liv's underwear.
Fact. I'll send Haskell some of your underwear.
No.
And see if we can lure him onto the podcast.
So sordid.
See you next week. Goodbye.
Private Parts is produced by Spirit Studios.
With Olivia Scott as the producer.